Hello everyone and welcome to the fourth part of my BJD talk. So last time I showed you my two heads and I talked a little about what you can do with ball jointed dolls and why I like them so much. And this time I'm currently in my hobby room because it looks like I have enough fake lighting here that I can actually use my webcam still for one more video at least. And I wanted to talk about BJD personalities. Now, a lot of people whom I know, whom were whom were and are into ball jointed dolls, have personalities for their dolls. And a lot of people just model them after anime characters of all kinds. And yeah, looking around for whether or not I have pictures of some of them that I did model after. When I got Fenice, I straight away knew what I was gonna call her, and I didn't really have a personality for her yet, but I decided in the end that she was going to be a dragon who was stuck in human form. You see, I'm also a writer, and I really rather like to think up stories, so it wasn't really a problem for me to come up with some idea of what to make of these dolls' personalities. I had already decided that I was going to have a boy doll named Odin, who is designed after Hiro Yui from Gundam Wing. If you don't know who that is, Google him. I decided that I really liked Hiro's looks, the messy, just out of bed hair that is permanently stuck that way. It's chocolate brown in color, and the very, very dark blue eyes. I really like that. So I gave my doll messy brown, just out of bed hair and a pair of extremely dark blue eyes. But I wanted to give him an original personality, so I decided that I was gonna model his past after that of the Hiro Yui from the anime manga that I do not own. In that they are both orphaned at a very young age because of an aerial raid in their town, and an assassin passing by finds the kid to be the only one alive and takes him in. And it goes a little different for Odin after that, because Hiro Yui from Gundam Wing eventually ends up becoming a mobile suit pilot when he runs into the mad professor Dr. J. But Odin was left at the doorstep of his parents and has very clear memories of that by his mother, but since no one ever told him, he doesn't know that he's actually half human, half angel. And the angels are a race that have no emotions whatsoever, and so a child of a being that is as emotional as humans are can only spell trouble and has to be destroyed right away. So yeah, the mother doesn't want to destroy the kid, and quite quickly the angels find out that the angel half of Odin won't let them kill him. Yeah. Anyway, it goes on that the mother of Odin, looks up his father, and they find out that the father has remarried after the mother went back to her homeland when she found out she was pregnant, and frightened that the father didn't want the kid. And now that the father has 3 kids and a new wife and is faced with his 1-year-old son Odin, he says, "I don't want the kid. I have a family of my own. If you wanted me to raise him, you shouldn't have left me." And bloody, 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 all that shit grown-ups say when they don't want to take responsibility. Yeah, after that, the mother has to do something because Odin's not wanted by the angels, and his human parent, his human father, doesn't want him either, and she doesn't want to just leave him in the middle of nowhere. She's not that cruel. And that for someone who is a full angel and thus without emotion. Anyway, she leaves him on the doorstep of a pair of parents that she found that were of a pair of people that she found that were unable to have children. These people raise Odin until he is 3, and when Odin turns 2.5, he actually has a baby sister. He's very happy, although he's unable to express it because his angel half makes that he can't express himself emotionally. He doesn't really smile or have any facial expression ever at that time, and well, his parents don't know what to do with him, so they don't teach him either. So yeah, when Odin turns 3.5, his sister is by then 1 year old, and there's an aerial raid in their town, lots of airplanes throwing bombs, the whole town goes boom, and Odin wakes up, finds he's still alive, pushes off the rubble off his chest, and goes to find his parents who are dead. And then he hears his sister cry and finds that she's in the basement that he pushed her into, but she's stuck under the door. And as he goes to try and free her, the aforementioned assassin guy comes by and finds Odin digging around in the rubble. And he hasn't heard the sister because her voice is very faint by then. And he takes Odin with him away from the site, and Odin is very upset because his sister is left behind and she's hurt. Later on the news, he sees that she's in a hospital called Memorial, but according to the old guy who took him away from his home, there are over 500 more memorial hospitals in the US only. So yeah, the assassin guy raises Odin to kill people and take over from him. Later on, the assassin guy dies on a mission, and Odin is left for a while to wander on his own, ends up back at the organization that the man worked for, and is raised to be the best assassin they ever had, or at least that's the plan, only they find that whenever they push Odin into something that he is not comfortable with, or that he does not want to do, or whenever he finds out something that makes his human side extremely emotional, his angel side takes over and destroys everything. And yeah, he ends up falling in love with one of the other boys that is raised there, named Carlos, and sometime later Carlos is killed. This results in Odin becoming extremely emotional, his angel side taking over and killing everyone, and I do mean everyone. Much better, yeah. Okay, so yeah, he destroys that place, then he comes to work for another group, and they promise they will abide by his rules as long as he works for them, and that they are actually a group who are out to kill people who are actually bad and not just people who get in the way of the government. And with bad, I mean people who kill, murder, rape, abuse, will pump huge amounts of money in keeping wars going, that kind of stuff, really bad shit. So Odin goes on missions for them, and on one of his missions he finds in a basement of some rich, evil, sort of mafia type guy, a young woman and what looks to be a 5-year-old child. This young woman is Fenice, a dragon in human form who was trapped in her human form by her previous by the guy who owns her. Right, I changed that. And she's unable to get back to her dragon form because she has forgotten what her dragon form looks like. And while a dragon can change into pretty much any form they like, they cannot change back into their original form if they do not know what it looked like. If they cannot remember, even if they accidentally turn into a dragon that looks exactly like the dragon they were, they will still revert back to their human form because they cannot remember it. So yeah, she's currently stuck as a human with the ability to change certain parts about herself into dragon parts, and well, she breathes fire, obviously. The appearing to be 5-year-old child was Robin Nico. Yes, named after the One Piece's Robin Nico, Nico Robin, one of the two. I tend to forget which way they position the names. Anyway, Nico Robin, I think that was it, is a cat demon, whom was by the guy who gave her to the guy who imprisoned her with the dragon, changed into a 5-year-old human child to keep her powers under control. Unfortunately, they didn't count on it, that she would still maintain her powers to a degree and learn to strengthen them. She is just stuck in this human child body and not very happy with that. So, after some fishing around, Phineas and Robin decide to trust Odin, and Odin gets them out of there. And they go to live in Odin's little apartment and later move to a bigger one. On one of his missions, Odin also finds the water sprite, or water fairy, if you like to call it that, Kirin, who is able to become the very water itself and travel through water and all that, who was kept in a golden cage away from anything that was water, and was slowly withering away. He brought her home, where she was quite traumatized by the way Odin just about murdered everyone in the room in cold blood. They were all people that he found through research had done terrible things to people, and so he agreed to murder them all for his organization's request. He takes Kirin home. She gets to know Phineas and Robin and slowly learns why Odin seems to be emotionless, when he kills people. And that it's not that he is actually emotionless, but he is just unable to express emotions because of his angel half. Odin then also found yeah, I haven't really hashed out Kirin's past, so that's still a mystery for a later date. He then also finds Demon eating out of their trash can, and Demon is exactly what his name says he is. He's part demon, part human. He grew up on the street. He is modeled after Duo Maxwell. I got the idea after I saw the doll from, if I can get it to focus on it, this here cute chibi picture that I found on the web, and drew right off my screen. I'll show you around my wall of anime pictures that I made. Here's Troa, 2x Daisuke in different colors. Here we have Daisuke's counterpart, Kaito Dark, Cat Girl, some random people, Prince Zuko from Avatar, Edward Elric, and Colonel Mustang from Fullmetal Alchemist, and I have 30 seconds left, so I'll be quick. Demon is a child who grew up on the streets. He was left behind, and all the memories he has are of what he can only assume is his mother saying that she doesn't need a demon, a monster like him, and so he is left in a dumpster as a baby. Gotta do this real quick. Demon grows up with a street gang. Street gang dies of the plague. Few survive. Demon leads them. They go to live in a church. And the church gets blown up, and Demon ends up with Odin. And that's about as far as I can go on here, because I'm at my 15-minute limit. So I will tell you more in my 5th part when I get to that. Bye bye now.